Morning all, Simon Holden here, the Sheriff of Tippingham. Oh, excuse me, the excitement of Cheltenham being on, I can't even speak. Judge at Cheltenham is on, and a completely unnecessary inspection has been passed. How are you feeling about that?
Well, I'm pleased it's on after putting all the work in last night. So, and the previous couple of nights, it'd been a gutter if it had called off. But especially after what we've had lately, we've been starved of some good action. It's lovely to have it all on this weekend, isn't it?
Brilliant, yeah. Now, we are not at Cheltenham. We're going to Donny for a very exciting 240. But firstly, Judge's Private Service, you had Greyval yesterday, and I had Greyval with the old France Clammer, the skier, Paddy Brennan, as he comes in and out of two tracks. Also, it was part of a max win double dipper that I did, which copped 14-1. Now, today I've got a max bet in Ireland and a win a lucky 15. So you can get that at the link below for a fiver. And the judge, if you're in his ever-growing club, then get ready. Set aside about 40 minutes to read his email. You have 6 whopping bets, Judge.
I think there's actually 8, mate. But
8. Yeah, oh my God, I missed 2. There's that many. I lost count.
Yeah, I've been very busy. Very busy. Yeah.
So it's a busy day. But we're going to the 240, right? Let's set the scene for HHV, the judge. It is a 3-mile grade 2. The Albert Bartlett River Don Novices Hurdle. Some great horses have won this. It's at Donny on good ground. Yes, you heard it. Good ground. And 10 runners stand their ground. And just to say, Sky Bet are playing 4 places in a 10-runner event. Marvellous. If you can get on with them, of course.
Yes.
Just whiz through the betting. Stay away phase, a 5-2 favourite. Grand Swore is 7-2 second favourite. Ida Cow, Billhoo 4s. Maximilian is 13-2. Twig at 14s. The Wounded Knee at 18s. Hurricane Bay at 18s. Back the 128. God, 10 runners. It's taking me ages. Mahan Glory 33s. Outsider of the pack. Rock on Cowboy. What a great name. At 80-1. I'll come to you first, Judge. I thought this was a very, very tricky race and a very good renewal potentially. Let's start with any of the outsiders. So I'll go through Rock on Cowboy, Mahone's Glory, Park the 1, and Hurricane Bay, who were the outside 4 in the betting. Can you give any of those 4 a squeak?
I could definitely give Mahon's Glory a chance if he gets the trick, because the form of its last win was well franked. It beat He's a Geezer at Aintree, and I think there's been 2 or 3 winners in behind that. But he has had quite a few starts now. He's 11 starts, whether he's getting any better. But, 33-1. This race does often throw a big price one. There's been a few down the years, so I thought that was possibly the obvious one. But even Park this one didn't finish too far behind Maximilian on a run. I think it's Maximilian. No, whatever. I can't remember now. I've been doing so much studying. But I wouldn't put you off that. It's only got a couple of lengths to find with one of the front end of the market. So that's a funny one. But other than that, mate, I am going for a bigger price one, as you know. This race didn't have me stumped, by the way. You wouldn't believe the joke I've come up with. This is a tremendous bet. Get on Twig. Twig's
so
the bet for
me. Twig is your selection.
Yes.
Well, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it, Judge?
Very good, very good.
Start that game, mate. I can play all day.
No, that's right. You were the king of the puns. This and Ben Pauling's won this race 3 times for a stable of his size that won this race 3 times. It takes some doing. So we won it with Barter's Hill, Nad Attack, and the Cob. And bless him, the poor old the Cob passed away a few weeks ago. It'd be quite apt if he was to win this race, wouldn't it? But he's also obviously with Barter's Hill. He was coming back from chasing. This horse has been chasing. He's done the trip. He's won over 3 miles. I think that can be useful because this race often turns into a right grind, doesn't it? The amount of times you see him grinding over irrespective of the going, it just seems to take forever up the running. And I thought he was a good each-way price, to be honest. The run at Cheltenham was an excellent run behind Shearer. I mean, he's run okay since. He's quite a decent handicapper. And look, there probably might be 1 or 2 to beat him, but I think he'd be there or thereabouts. And I think at 14-16-1, that he's got a good chance of even winning the race. So for me, it's the Twig.
Yeah, well, 14s is a big price, like you said, Pauling. for a relatively small though growing yard to win a race like this 3 times is superb. So you know, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to see he targets it.
Absolutely.
Ben Bo Morgan, who can't claim in this. It's a big day for him, isn't it? Young Bo Morgan.
Been riding well though, hasn't he?
Oh yeah. Now we're on about trainers that won. This race last year was won by the John McConnell yard, and he brings over Grand Soir, who's second favourite and is being well backed at 7-2. Now he's won his last 3. What do you think of his chance, Judge?
I think he looks the type because he's an out and out stayer. But the thing that's put me away a bit is, I mean, he's the sort of type. He's probably 7-2 now, but you'll be surprised you don't get 7-1 in running, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? So he's not the sort of one I want to be backing at that sort of price. Where I could probably I'll be disappointed if I don't get double that during the run when he's under a pump. But he will be staying on. But the form also of his last run hasn't really worked out. The second and third haven't really done a lot for the form. They haven't won or really run very well in other novice hurdles. And I just think it's just ordinary, Irish novice hurdle form. It might be good enough to be ordinary on English novice hurdle form. But he's a bit short now, mate. Bearing in mind the third favourite, which I want you to pronounce in a minute, has actually come third in the Grade 1 last time out. So
Idalcaho Bihu.
That's the one.
The Tristan Davis yard, who are in form at the moment, it's fair to say.
Yeah. He
was third. I mean, he was in the Grade 1. He was absolutely stuffed, let's be clear, by Hermes Allen, but there's no shame in that. That was a good run.
Everything was stuffed by him, though, wasn't it? So
yeah, he will go to Cheltenham with a, certainly a big chance. So there's no shame in that. He's 4-1. I'm not. I don't know. I didn't like his. I just didn't like his demeanour, if that's the right word. I thought he was quite a.
It's a war of attrition, that race, even though it's only 2.5 miles as well, wouldn't it? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't. I just think he might not have the class needed to win this. He'll certainly grind, but you've got plenty of grinders in this, haven't you? You know, you've got Grand Soir, you've got your selection twig, which is proven at the trip. I don't know. I just think 4-1's very tight with him. I've got to come to my selection, Judge. Now, I really don't like doing the old jollies on this, and I tried to get this kind of beat, which is how I always set out with these races, but I just keep coming back to this stay away fair, currently 5-2. This horse last time out at Newbury really went in a lot of notebooks, and he reminded me of that other Nichols horse, Tamahorus, that we've given on this, and that we both followed.
That was certainly a bit of form earlier on in the year to be following, wasn't it? The Tamahorus form.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's necessarily as good as Tamahorus, but it was just when I first saw Tamahorus this year at Chepstow, I had a similar feeling when I saw this horse. Looked into the background of it. It had won a point-to-point in Ireland. It was one of those horses that everyone was in for. And Nichols owner went to 300,000 to get this.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pressure was on then. They went to Newbury first time out. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you look at the paddock reports, now, I'm not saying this horse was unfit or anything like that, but 2 or 3 of the paddock guys all made like notes in kind of capitals that this thing would come on a ton from the run. Now, if you take that as not just one guy said it, but 3 different paddock reports, they can't all be wrong. He then turned up and absolutely stuffed a decent yardstick in He's a Geezer. And it was the manner of the way he jumped and galloped that made me just think, well, I know he's won his point-to-point over 3 miles, but they often go at a slow pace there. But you just watch that. On the run-in at Newbury, when he stops, he really does look like he wants to just carry on and go around again. I think he might just have a little touch of class against all these grinders. I think he might be a bit tasty, this stay away fair. And if after this he were to do the business, you could see him go into the Albert Bartlett itself, couldn't you? If he's as impressive. Now, sort of senior people at the Nichols yard who you kind of think have seen it all and seen so many good horses come through that production line, I know that they are getting very excited about this horse. And you kind of think he must be showing something really special when they, well, when you think what it must take to get the senior people there excited, what they see year in, year out. I think there's a lot of confidence behind this today. I'm surprised he's big as 5-2. I could have seen him being 15-8, 7-4 for this. I do think that there's a lot of horses with a very similar profile. What I would say is your selection, Twig, at 14s. I'd much rather be on that each way than have to bet the second and third favourite as a win bet, 7-2 and 4-1. Because I don't think there's that much between the rest of the sort of next 6 in the betting or this. And I think this is the only horse in the race that you wouldn't be surprised if it was significantly better than what it's seen. I think with the others, we've got a line on Grand Soir. We've got a line on Hidalgo Bihu. We've got a line on Maximilian. He is what he is. I can't believe that your horse is twice the price of Maximilian, by the way. And the outsiders, there's plenty in here who've had lots of runs, Judge, and lots of chance to show that their actual form line and how good they are. And I do think this Jolly is the one who could be significantly better. His pure form at Newbury makes him probably about the price he is, but the potential means he could be significantly better. And I can't get away from him, I'm afraid. So it's got to be top of the shop, the jolly old favourite. Oh, the shame, the shame. Number 8, Stay Away Faye. Take the 5-2. I
was gonna say to you, I said clues in the name. Stay away, stay away. No, on a serious note, I mean, you're quite right. He has got the potential to be a different class than the rest of the runners, to be honest.
I believe so.
The form was a funny race, that Newbury race, though, because actually I was on Russian Ruler in that race. Miles looked like massive odds on to win the race. I can't remember how short it went, and then fell in a hole. And then Stay Away picked the pieces up. Like you say, did beat He's a Geezer 5 lengths in the end. But I suppose what put me away a little bit was the fact that He's a Geezer only got beat earlier on this year by about a length by Mayhen's Glory, who I was talking about earlier at 33s. And it's just the actual form itself. I respect with what you're saying. It costs a lot of money. It's not a, for me, something that I would be punting myself. But I wouldn't. If I have punted it, I'd rather be seeing it going off 7-4, 15-8 than it going off 7-2, 4-1. If you see what I'm trying to say, because then all the right people are getting on it. Look, I can't really crab it apart from I think possibly the price is what it is. But I mean, as a yardstick goes, you've got a point difference between a Nichols horse that could be anything and sort of not being funny just because he won the race last year, John McConnell horse. I mean, you want a bit more than that, really, wouldn't you? For the John McConnell horse. But like you say, it could be anything, and it's the only one really that you could see rocking in the Albert Bartlett. And there's something like old Twig runs a race again, because there is sometimes these old grinders do keep picking up places. That Albert Bartlett is a war of attrition on a lot of occasions, and
and whoever wins this is going to have to really tough it out.
Absolutely, I'm just hoping he does what he says on the tin, But like you say, Bo Morgan's sounds like a racehorse actually. Bo Morgan. I hope he gives it a good ride, and look, I hope we have a good run for our money.
There we go, guys. So Twig for the judge at 14s on this busy day, and Stay Away Fee for me at 5-2 to just have a little bit of class that the others lack. Well, it's going to be a very busy day. Judge got 8 bets. I've got the monster below you. So let's have a great day. I'll see you on Monday, Judge, where we have a lot of, we'll have 5, but we'll have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
Rules. Have a great weekend, mate. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. It's going to be a brilliant day.
Bye.